Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review covers the vintage Revell monogram 1/8 scale Harley Davidson Bad Boy motorcycle model kit number 7305. It's a skill level 2 model for the moderate builder and was issued back in 1998. Now, these have been long out of production, but they're still readily available at online auctions, garage sales, and swap meets. And the kit includes 62 pieces, molded in black, gray, clear, transparent red, and amber, and some chrome-plated pieces too. It also features black vinyl tires and a water slide decal sheet with instructions. This is the layout of the kit's contents, and as I like to say, this is my version of the open box review. Here are the decals for this kit, and as you can see, the color is good and the registry is good too. As I would recommend, however, use some decal setting solution to make sure that the decals fit to the contours and stick to the parts. Also, if you use any of the products here in this review, please use the manufacturer's safety and use guidelines to ensure your own protection. Here's the beginning page of the instructions for this kit, and we'll put these into the review occasionally so that you can refer to them at any time. Construction starts by putting together the left and right frame halves, and as you can see here with the red arrow, there will be some parting lines on the parts that you'll need to clean up. And the same will go for all of the rest of the model parts kits. There are parting lines, so and maybe an injection tab or two, so make sure you take some time, clean those up real nice before you construct the parts. But as the beginning here, we'll take the left frame side, clean it up, and then snap it together to the right frame side. I painted the frame halves gloss black, and when you put those together, you'll be trapping the yoke, shown as the blue arrow here, in the neck of the frame. And then decal number 6 is applied to both sides in the front area for side reflectors. Now we'll begin some work on the engine halves. So we're going to take the left and right engine halves here, and while they're still on the trees, we're going to detail them. First, you paint the whole block there section with the fins black, flat black, and then you just use a dry brush to brush the tops of the fins with some aluminum paint. We'll be doing a little jumping around here from the instruction set, and we're going to add the foot pegs and snap those into position on both the frames in the front area there. Then the right engine half is then snapped into the engine area, and now the oil filter, I brush painted a gloss black and snapped that into place on the push rods. Now the push rod assembly is snapped into place in front of the right engine half, and this is followed by adding the air cleaner and attaching that to both cylinders on the right engine half. Now decal number 12 is applied to the air cleaner. The foot brake is brush painted Testors aluminum and flat black before being snapped onto the frame and the foot pegs. Now we'll begin some work on the front forks and the front tire. Grab those parts from the instruction set to start working on the front forks and the front fender. Now first, of course, the front fender was sprayed a gloss black as well as, just like the frame. And before assembly takes place, and then after it's dried, you add decal number 3 to the front fender. And then the ignition box is brush painted Tester steel before being inserted into both frame halves. There was a little flash on the wheel spokes here for the front wheel that you can see at the top of the frame. I just used a sharp hobby knife and carefully removed those, and you could barely tell that it had been there. I painted the front and rear brake discs, and first I painted them overall steel, and then I just painted the middle a Tester silver color. Now we'll complete step 4 with the headlight and the front tire, and the headlight lens slides into a groove on both halves of the headlamp fixture, and then the headlamp halves are snapped together. The front tire assembly consists of the front disc brake, the right side wheel, the front tire, and the left wire wheel, and then after you assemble the front tire, it is installed into the front forks. The headlight assembly is then snapped onto the front springs, which is then snapped into place on the forks. Now we begin work on the left engine half and some of the spark plug and pedal assembly units, but as this is a snap kit, it will snap together, but at any time if you feel that you need to get a joint closer together, use a little dab of super glue and use a clamp to keep those parts together for a good finished look. Snap the left engine half into place on the left side of the motorcycle, and for the transmission cover, the oil tank is brush painted Testors aluminum, and then the transmission cover is installed into the motorcycle frame there. Now the horn cover is snapped into place, and that would complete step 5. Now the pedal and kickstand assembly is snapped into position on the in brush painted Testors aluminum, and the pedal has a foot peg on it that's painted flat black. Now the assembly is snapped into place on the left side of the motorcycle, and the spark plugs are now installed into their positions on the cylinder heads. Now we're going to be adding the swing arm assembly and the exhaust. First you can spray the shocks gloss black, followed by brush painting the shafts there Testors silver, and brush painting the cylinders Testors steel before being installed onto the frame. Gather up these parts for the rear tire assembly. Now you'll get out the rear wire wheel, the tire, the left wire wheel, and drive belt, and the rear disc brake. And then the drive belt pulleys are brush painted steel colored, and the belt is brush painted flat black. Follow the instruction assembly there to assemble the rear wheel, and then you'll be painting the oil tank aluminum with black covers and installing that after you've put the tire into place. Now we'll be assembling some of the rear fender section and pieces that go in the back end. Like the rest of the model, I painted the rear fender gloss black, and after that dries, the left and right side brackets and the license plate bracket are brush painted silver Testors aluminum, with both of the side brackets then snapped onto the rear fender. And the tail light and the turn signals are installed onto the license plate bracket, and then that bracket is snapped into the rear fender at the end. Now we'll install the rear fender assembly onto the frame, and then the exhaust is put together, and there's 2 exhaust tips that are put onto the ends of the exhaust system, and then that assembly is installed to the engine cylinders on the right side of the motorcycle. Paint the rear foot pegs flat black, and then snap those into place on both sides of the frame, and then we'll be applying the decals for the rear fender reflectors and the license plates, and putting them into place. Now we've reached steps 11 and 12, which is the fuel tank and the instrument console and the seat. So gather up those parts and get ready for staging them for assembly. I had painted my gas tank gloss black to keep with the rest of the bike, and then applied decals 4 and 5 to the gas tank halves, and then they are installed, followed by your odometer decal, which is applied to the instrument panel, and then the instrument panel is snapped into place above the gas tank halves. The seat and the seat bottom were both painted flat black, and then the seat buttons were then detailed with some Testors silver paint. To install the seat, the front of the seat is put under the instrument panel, and then the seat bottom is snapped into place under the back of the seat and placed on a peg that's sticking up there, a post from the rear fender. One thing you might do is to use a small, like jeweler's screwdriver, to push up on the peg while pushing down on the seat to snap it into place. Now we complete the model by adding the handlebars and adding the display stand to the final finished display. The left and right hand grips were painted flat black, and then the brake levers are painted aluminum. Then the hand grips are then slid onto both ends of the handlebars. The turn signal lenses are put onto the turn signal housings, and then the assemblies are installed to the bottom of the hand grips. The left and right mirrors are then snapped to the top of the hand grips, and the handlebar assembly is snapped onto the front forks. I painted the display base gloss black, and then I hand brush painted the raised letters for the Harley Davidson white and the top and bottom Harley insignias orange. Then the motorcycle just slides onto the pedestal, and it's the last step for your kit. And there you have it. This was a gorgeous, easy to assemble kit. There's no real issues with it. It goes together well. The parts fit perfectly. There will be some cleanup required, but the beauty of this kit is its overall size. You can super detail this kit. Some cables and wires would begin the process, but even further than that, you could really detail some of the features, some of the chrome and trappings. Now, I painted mine a certain way, but the box art has you paint it a different way, and that's called out for the bad boy paint in the instructions. But you can use your imagination here and go wild with detail for just a gorgeous display. If you can find one of these kits, they are just a sheer delight to put together. We hope you liked this premium quality step-by-step review, and so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and also at our website, www.rightonreplicas.com. Thanks!